I feel like life is a boat and the water keeps seeping on through. I'm caught in a vortex of spirals every time I think about you. I don't wanna listen to no one else, hope you be keeping the truth. Fuck a red, please believe it or not, I'm believing in you. Alright, when demons get rude, I can count on you to be on the watch. Some of the things that you say make me think you be reading my thoughts. Yeah, when my little helper keep it at. Right with me is where I need you at. We going places where they need a mat. When we rest so we don't need a mat. It's heating up just like an heating pad. No other vibe girl can even match. Right in front of me is just where I wanna see you at. Best believe in that. I'ma hit that kitty cat. And best believe it won't even scratch. Any discrepancies that you got with the word, I won't say why you speaking that. I ain't got nothing to say. I ain't got nothing to say. You done said it for me, for me, for me. You done said it for me, yeah. I ain't got nothing to say. I ain't got nothing to say. You done said it for me, yeah. You done said it for me, yeah. We like the same kind, do the same thing. We got the same mind and the same brain. Got the same grind, got the same aim. Got the same vibe, hope it ain't changed. You got me caught in the bind. You got me caught in the seal. You got me drawing the lines. Cause baby, you gotta just chill. Tell me what's all on your mind. Tell me just how do you feel. Hope you don't hold it just mine. I'm tryna lock in a deal. No begging, but you gotta deal with all the bullshit in your life. Cause when you look back at everything, looks so trite, like so right. You just need to get your soul right. Not worried about who in the next space. Fuck what you think about DNA, cause we all headed to the next race. Back and forth to the next day. My music sound like an expressway. You gonna be bobbing your head so much, baby, you gon' need a neck brace. The things that you text me got me just thinking that you know what I'm doing. Made me feel like I got hit by something and I knew it was cute. Yeah, I ain't got nothing to say. I ain't got nothing to say. You done said it for me, for me, for me. You done said it for me, yeah. I ain't got nothing to say. I ain't got nothing to say. You done said it for me, yeah. You done said it for me, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, say I wake up in the morning, yeah. Oh, say get ready to go to sleep, yeah. Oh, say get ready to go live, yeah. Oh, say real shit, what you try to eat today, babe? Yeah. Oh, I said what you try to eat, yeah. Don't turn into a robot. Oh, say yeah. Now let's check this out. We got some extra synchronicities, energy. This is just Q&A. Like I said, it don't matter. Leave a donation or not. I'm just answering questions. Says I got a lot of stuff done. You know what I'm saying? So it really was open space to get flunked out and get ready for Moon and Aries. You know what I'm saying? Moon and Aries, all these synchronicities, grand earth trines and stuff like that, retrogrades in the sky and stuff like that, flunk buttercream, embarrassment, Lilith and stuff like that, all in my first house and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I want to be in my first house. Like Uriel care about feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like Uriel care about thoughts. You know what I'm saying? The last person get washed up under the current. I'll be the one to hang myself up on the cross if I do anything that in your life look like, oh, I'll be embarrassed. I'll be embarrassed for you. You know what I'm saying? Trust and believe the universe will go through me. Because the universe, it ain't for me and it ain't happening to me. It'll just go through me like water. It'll like Bruce Lee, water. You know what I'm saying? It'll be like water. So if you need someone to fulfill the energies of being embarrassed, just for you to sit back and smile too, I'll be hung on the cross for that. You know what I'm saying? But guess at the outcome, who only going to materialize and productivity energies and produce from that, though? The people who did that. The people who didn't get washed up under the current. You know what I'm saying? The people who didn't care where Lilith was at the moment. You know what I'm saying? They cared, which makes you know, which makes you have knowledge, which make you a bad motherfucker. But then once you're aware, you still don't let it affect you. But you are aware how it can affect you. You cold as a spirit at that point.
You like close to God at that point. Like you like unbiased, equilibrium, synchronicity, central, century, centaur, center, mermaid, jawline, neck, face, fish, gill, skin, all that type stuff. Real close to do chakra vessel systems for God. Real stuff. All mathematical mind systems manifest to solid world. Been there, done that. Trust me. I ain't telling you no lie. I ain't telling you no lie. I wouldn't be investing in what I'm invested in. I wouldn't take what I'm doing as serious if I took it. God damn it, if I ain't had no goddamn confirmations. I'm gonna say that right now. I'm from the hood. I'm saying it's hard to see confirmations from God in the hood. Everything get led off to something else, and you gotta believe this something else and something else to jump into something else and then be something else and probably be in somebody's jail after that, after doing something else. So y'all said like real stuff. So goddamn it, you from in any area I'm from and you can see God or something like that, you get saluted. You get saluted. Real shit. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. Now, lazy-minded people, they still like, they got to go through a lot of stuff for them to really take something serious. So they might get, even mentally, not even always physically. The crutch could be mentally. Somebody gave them all the concepts, gave them it, so they ain't have to experience it. They just got heard it. And they already know not to put their hand on a fire, but they never experienced being on a fire, being through the fire, or putting their hand on a stove and experience being burnt by the fire for them to really take serious with that person that they listening to telling them. You know what I'm saying? So they might be still a weak spirit, but until they go to that situation where it's like, I ain't even put my hands on the stove and it's a little hot. So I can only imagine if I put my hands on there and stuff. Let me know. Then they start waking up and stuff and pick the right college courses. Just don't be taking everybody's advice and stuff like that, and you want good grandpa's business, good daddy mommy business and stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got your own thing you want to do, your own stuff, you know what I'm saying? That might look totally opposite to what's familiar to them, but at the same time, it's what God wants for you. Same way, whatever they doing that you don't want, do the same thing that they doing, that's what God had for them. Put a little God in your recipes and your like statements and your conversations and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But just put a little God in there and everybody can understand it. And no matter if they your smack monkey grandmothers or no matter who they, just put a little God, little sprinkles in it. You know what I'm saying? And they'd be able to understand anything all the way to if you just getting out of high school and you getting that fart cloud peer pressure to go to college, but specifically for a degree. You know what I'm saying? That you like, no, I want to do that degree. I might want to do this. I might not even want to go to college. Well, you know, I ain't telling you to do that, but because, you know, how I think about school all the way down to homeschooling and stuff like that, I look at it like this. I like to put everything in my shoes. Some of my most memories and how I learned the most was things my mother was totally not involved in, nor did I had the mother to even try to be involved in it. But when I think like that, it make me think, well, shit, half of the things I learned wasn't necessarily the schooling. It was just me being amongst my age group and me learning my place amongst my age group and things of that nature. So that's most of the learning process. The knowledge and the curriculum that the teachers is teaching based on indoctrination is only about 40 to 35% of what we might think in our mind being too much in our bias and stuff coming from these areas. We might think it's 80% of most important, and it really ain't, because you'll start to realize you'll build a lot of resentment with your child once they become a teenager and become an adult and you become an old smack monkey and you start getting weird fart cloud resentment from them that you don't know where it's coming from. But and they might not know how to express it. So they do it in rebellious energies towards things that you do like, that once upon a time you thought that they will go in that direction. But if you're not spiritually inclined, you will fail to realize that was because I've been going through this for eons. What's actually happening is, you know, the child is becoming an adult, but secretly blaming you for enabling them to experience the things that everybody in their age group supposed to be experiencing at the time they're supposed to experience it. And when you're held back from certain experiences through your age loops, you know what I'm saying? 18, that you're 9, 17, you're 8, you know what I'm saying? 16, you're 7. When you're missing your second development of a chakra you already accumulated, based on you always these single numbers on gematria numerology style, right? You end up trying to realize why you inhibit it in your life. And the only people you have to blame is your upbringing. So, and if you had some kind of homeschooling and things of that nature, you know, or if you the individual who did the homeschooling, that's why you getting that weird resentment energy in an area you didn't think it was going to play out in their life. So you have to be careful, be aware of all aspects in life, not just one aspect that suit your bias and desire because of what make you feel good and who you think you fighting, where from that person's mind and them for them to be an individual, you could be making them mentally weak a little bit. And if they're expressing characteristics of their parents amongst people that's their age group and things of that nature, that's the first signs of feeling isolated, even when you're not necessarily isolated yet. Then a person will start to think they have things wrong with them that they necessarily don't. And that just might come from the inability of being able to handle the thoughts and feelings, the liquid world of people amongst your age group. So you don't want to inhibit a child ability to run their race. And when I'm not talking about race as far as skin, I'm talking about race as far as their Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto signs. That's amongst their age group. When you don't allow a child to experience that, they have the inability of developing their own thoughts in the time that they need it, especially when it becomes an adult. And if your thoughts is replaced with theirs at a time that they have their own life, that's not good. And they're going to experience it like it's not good. And in their experiences of developing that, they're going to be meeting a lot of mistakes that they blame the parent for that blocked them from the experiences that they were supposed to have at the age they were supposed to have it. You see what I'm saying? That's why I low-key even feel like charter schools and stuff like that is a certain inhibit. I think everybody should be public school, but I get it though. I get it. And public school curriculum is trash. I get it. That's why I don't hate on homeschooling either. I think it's important to do both. I think it's important to let your kid run their race, and I think it's important to give your kid wisdom while they go run their race. So while your child at school, they got the wisdom that you giving them in your brain to make them feel like they are powerful enough to develop their own intelligence, and you're giving them help to feel confident about developing their own decision when they know that you're not down there pineal gland as a memory or a thought when they're in a situation by themselves and you ain't around. When you give a kid a tool like a thought, but you also don't put the pressure on them like you're hunting them down, expecting something or action from them 24/7, you allow a kid to take what you gave them and also develop their own thought because of the courage that you're giving them, that you're not watching them 24/7 either. And then therefore that allow a kid to respect you and want to prove to you how good they can do, want to prove to you how well, how much money and how much they could come support you and make you feel like you ain't got nothing to worry about when you get old. You ain't got to worry about nobody stranger or nobody else's kid wiping your butt. And you ain't got to worry about being in nobody's nursing home because before they die, that'll be the last thing that they see. You know what I'm saying? And when you make your kid feel like that or your kids feel like that, that's when you know you're doing something for God. Now, when you're doing something for the devil and the generational curses and stuff like that, you're going to build up somebody who's getting ready to resent you as soon as they turn 16 years old. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be doing everything you thought they wasn't. Thank you so much for the donation, Sade Master Astrology. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Real stuff. My astrologers out there, my tarot card readers, shout y'all out. But yeah, I'm going to start going more deeper on astrology, parent and child relationship also, because like it's a good healthy thing to get involved with your kid and you, because you could turn it into all different things. Kids love drawing and stuff like that. What's better to interact with your kid to tell them draw a planet how you look at it? You know what I'm saying? And what better? Your kids love cartoons and stuff like that. What better than to go like take a field trip with your kid to Michael's or goddamn it what's the other one? I forget, Pacatans or what's the other one, and go get a whole bunch of art acrylers, and I forgot what they call them, but all the little things that you can get for the letters and stuff like that, and be like, look, let's go get some rulers and stuff and draw and outline some stuff and put things in positions and stuff. What better kind of relationship is that and stuff? So your child will be having all kind of mental patterns in their brain that play out in other areas once they start to become an adult that becomes sufficient in life. Because when you teach a baby patterns, see, it is about comprehension. It's not actually about the information. It's about the comprehension. So, because you have to look at things from a starting point. So since I take things a step further and make it simple, sometimes y'all pass to go down these line of reasonings and trains of thoughts to yourself to see how I play out in the details of life. For an example, I go a step further. The spirit ain't nothing. So something is the gas, liquid, and solid, right? So the comprehension will be being more aware of the gas and solid before it's the solid. I mean, the gas and the liquid before it's the solid. Not being aware of the solid first, lost in your lower desires or root chakra, and then you want your liquid to be okay and to have a peace, a piece of gas for your spirit to be trapped in your own space. That's narcissism and things of that nature. When you understand it from the right perspective, revert it back around and understand it's gas, liquid, and solid. For something to even become solid, the gas, which is ideas, have to be sounded, which is a pattern, right? And once a pattern is formulated, that's an accumulation like a group of gases, masses coming together like a cloud that become liquid, a thought and feeling. And once you get that perspective in order, that develops comprehension. So whatever you see produced in the solid world from the gas and solid, you will be able to comprehend, even if you don't quite know the language yet, even if you don't quite know the mathematics yet. Anything that's said or seen or heard or aware from that perspective, your comprehension level will be up. And it'll be real quick for you to catch on, though. You can catch on to it real quick before someone can play you like a fool. And then it can even appear like you always knew it, even if you didn't, because the comprehension skills is up. So I'm saying your vibrations is up in the way you're supposed to look at it. Not no spookism, lighting some sage, manifesting type energy. That's wrong. Everything is rituals and spells. So you got to look at it as that. And works is ain't nothing. I mean, faith ain't nothing without works. Faith is the ritual, is the witchcraft you have on your mind, and the works is the ritual and spell you do with your body. Anything you do with your body is a ritual and spell. The movement, your magic wand, your ability mentally or to point or to create a character to make somebody pay attention to something without the energy of fear. Because all spirits have their own ability to be aware of what they want. They got their own responsibility. So when you can make a spirit aware of something you aware of, that's a spirit talent. That's one of the first spirit talents. Because when we all in our spaces, we only become aware of ourselves first. That's us trapping ourselves in our own mind, our own gas. Then that develop into a liquid. Then when we teamwork makes the dream work, that becomes the solid world that play out liquid, solid, gas around us for us to be inside and make the forms out of it and things of that nature. So a lot of times understand. Hold on, ooh, I had a point. I had another point. Hold on. That's us trapping ourselves in our. And you aware of. That's a spirit talent. Yeah, so that's a spirit talent. The ability to make another spirit. Because really, spirits are all narcs by default. You know what I'm saying? Because you born in your own world. You make your own mind first. And then it's teamwork makes the dream work. So everybody needs self-gratification before external gratification, right? That's why it's important to find your other half, too. But at the same time, in your community, in your soul tribe. And then even if you don't have the same soul tribe as someone else, just the concept of each one teach one and everybody have the same mentality of soul tribe, that's a togetherness in general. And if it's all on God basis, there will be no reason for one soul tribe to go to war with another one. So all that Jewish mysticism and stuff like that is basically used for RAW. It's in reverse. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't be understanding when I be seeing like a lot of Jews and stuff like that and Masons now starting to teach and stuff like that. And because it makes me believe that they don't care if their witchcraft actually work, if their religion actually work. They only care if we believe it or not. And the moment we stop believing it, now we got martial law mentally, them becoming YouTubers and teachers online. And then if we don't get into that concept throughout their distractions and allegories and reinverting how likes look and stuff like that, for they could be in an algorithm, they actually do the physical martial law and stuff like that. So for the most part, it just lead me to believe they could care less if the actual religion or witchcraft actually work or not, or the symbolism actually work. The power is making people believe it. So the moment we stop believing it, that's the only thing they care about. They care more about if you believe it or not, other than it actually working. Other than that, they would have been said a prayer and war would have been ended 2,000 years ago. Yet we got all these stories leading up today, even how the country is built off, RAW, backwards and reverse. I forgot it's the PBS channel. So for the most part, that just let you know right there, they full of shit. And I had to give it to them one time on that one, YouTube. It's full of crap. So you need to know that. All we have to do is create a better circumstance where that even look weird from an individual in those desires to even express that even to individuals, even if individuals putting their hands up saying whatever we're doing is not in no war. So for the most part, if we're not fighting with the flesh and we're fighting with the mental, and it's still a problem where we know mentally the characteristics play out physically as us not even harming each other, then we know that the reason we're being attacked or our character is being assassinated through the news and things of that nature based on calling us radicals is basically pure on the fact of we're not believing anything anymore, and that's the context of their stuff and their religion, because it don't actually work. They symbols don't work. Their only power is you believing it. So they care more about you believing it than it actually working. Because if they cared more about these prayers and stuff working, war would have been stopped. I mean, RAW in reverse would have been stopped. The moment war actually stopped, I guarantee that's one of the concepts of their witchcraft not working no more. You know what I'm saying? So we come with a whole nother religion that war don't even exist in some way, shape, or form, and we can actually make war stop. I guarantee they start pushing their religion even more, and they create a concept on the news to make it seem like we got to go to war or something because there's some new concept that they're trying to change religion, and the religion ain't nothing but the government, so they don't want nobody changing that, so they'll make anything up to destroy those people, even if those people come out of love and ain't trying to harm nobody in the flesh. That's how shady these people in the world. So y'all don't need to be in a situation like a troll where you're putting a whole bunch of energy in someone who just like you, especially in a position trying to help you, especially when it comes to male and females and getting rid of the gender war, where we got people behind closed doors who's so sinister, never reaping what they sow, never reaching the maximum percentage level of their karma because they got esoteric water bills that they pay because they still make people believe it and build their world. Yet these is the individuals y'all still complain about and stuff like that, but we busy fighting each other. And that's the angel main gripe down here. That's one of my main gripes that I don't get with y'all. You know what I'm saying? All the way to the point that, man, I kind of feel like YouTube is born if ain't nobody debating or something like that. So it's almost like I got to be like y'all a little bit. It feel weird a little bit, but this the world we in. So I'm an angel, but I might talk smack, but I ain't gonna front. It's entertaining. It says the new world we in, especially if we talking about, I don't care if it's the most flunked out stuff in the world. If it's a little bit talking about waking up a little bit, it's better than NBS and CNBC. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. But we don't even need to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? But when we get to a simple fact that that's the most entertaining thing right now, let's let us know we in trouble. That let us know we in trouble too. Thank you so much for the donation, David Chieti. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. You say, yo, Dolo, I got 7th house Lord Jupiter in the 10th house. So for the most part, yeah, you got to find your relationships when you get distracted with your status, your business, your career, what you're known for, how you seen. So you don't want to be seen as a desperate individual and your status is only a person that's looking for a relationship. No, you want your status, your 10th house energy to look like you about your business and something that people can create gossip off you and make it their business to be all in your business when your business is about the solid world material and looking good and looking the part of whatever you distracting yourself in. So if you ain't even got no purpose right now, please don't allow a relationship to be more on your mind and that to become the purpose, because you'll even find yourself getting a job for the sole purpose of a relationship, and that's when you all backwards, because you ain't gonna never find what you want. You ain't gonna never find the right job, the right person with reciprocation, nothing. You're just in the world of looking. So you want to know you already have it. You got to make it. So you have to make a purpose where you at right now, get distracted in that, and let people know that's what you're known for. So that becomes your 10th house, your status. Now when it comes into your 7th house Lord being there, right? The more you put that energy in and how you relate and stuff, that's where you're going to find your relationship. So even if it seems like it's not never coming, no, it's just not your time. And the more you slip and fall, you may have to lower yourself and settle with energies that you probably going to find out that you're wasting your time anyway. So you might just be horny at the moment or something like that. So you just have to carve out the energy. You might be reaping what you sowed from a previous lifetime. And when that time come, when you heavily invested in your distraction, not only would you find your partner, but you will also have the ability to sustain it also with security, stability, support, shelter, and safety. And that's what the universe and really God be trying to show you, that you don't need to be distracted in the relationship, because your right relationship gonna come when you in a situation of being distracted and you accumulate it from that distraction, that you're able to take care of that relationship in both matters, maternal, material, and love matters and things of that nature. Because anytime you start something, it ends the same way. So you start a relationship with half of the circumstance situated, is going to end because a half of the situation wasn't situated. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful the way when people are not ready for a relationship, we have to know that. And when you get ready for a relationship, that's what you know. You know what I'm saying? And you hearing that from a man. I don't feel like, well, I've been ready, but previously, I feel like I can't be ready unless I change something in the world, and I got a job to give a female, or whatever female I try to give my time to ain't gonna do nothing but lead to distraction. Because if I'm still distracted by trying to get on my 1-2, she gonna be distracted on trying to figure out how to help or get on her 1-2. Then both of us ain't got nothing to give each other to be distracted with. So we gonna be distracted with our own devices, thinking we love each other, to take our own devices to bring it together, but that becomes a job after a while. And anytime a relationship becomes a job, it's gonna be something like you want to call off from. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then. And a relationship ain't never supposed to be in that way. So each party joined the relationship, and the way they started it, wasn't all in as far as their situation and things of that nature. So they wasn't even supposed to be wasting each other's time. They were supposed to be taking more of their time to themselves and stuff like that. And then once they built that circumstance that matched the energy of what they're trying to do in their life, that partner, the God brings that partner in their life that match that. When you get more lost into your lower natures and try to find a partner, but you ain't even got nothing for your partner to match. If you a man, you gonna attract a female that start looking at you like you ain't got nothing for her to be submissive to. If you are a female, you're gonna start to attract a man that really just looking for a mother, and they may be looking for you to be his mother, and you're gonna start to feel that energy up jump. So you're gonna start to feel like that's not a job I'm trying to take, without necessarily explaining that to him, because of his better male energies he expressed to make it seem like that's not the case. But the way he cling on or clingy or try to make you be clingy, it'd be self-aware, it'd be self-apparent that, goddamn it, yeah, he needs you to be his mother. So at some point, that's where things get frunky out and things of that nature, when we try to take our own distractions and then use it for our lust, other than trying to get lost in our distractions and find a person that match our distractions, and that'll be the person that we kind of really want to only lust for anyway. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way you do it for God. You know what I'm saying? That's the way you do it for God and stuff like that, and get you a little legacy and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But if you waste time in other areas, you're not going to have nothing at the end that build the legacy. Like, you going to use everything you accumulated to get the things that you think you was trying to chase. So when it's all said and done, you don't have no legacy, nor you have nothing to leave back to individuals, nor have you probably even stuck around long enough in a situation to manifest anybody to give things back to and things of that nature. So that's a lonely life. Nobody want to die in that type of situation. You see what I'm saying? Thank you so much for the donation, Terra Love. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Real stuff. It's having real deep, good spiritual conversations and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then it's good to have that, where we can apply astrology and numerology and gematria, but we have to understand how to relate this to everyday life, because these are the cycles in our lives and stuff like that. When we know how to relate it, it makes good conversation, not just always someone teaching, someone learning, something that we could just all relate to. And goddamn it, we just all in the ceremony right now, having a good understanding, to the point that when we get so much in this energy, it go beyond language, and then we'll be all connected in God's language, to the point that we'll just be moving in certain ways and understand what we're trying to say. Then once we create more subconscious default energies in that area where we're already doing that, but subconsciously training our mind doing that, we're getting more closer to making bodies that don't represent so much of the solid like this. It be organs that's more transparent, and life become more fluid. You know what I'm saying? Where the solid world, we can sustain one of those forms in the liquid world that play out like gas, liquid, solid. Because there's a gas, liquid, solid in all worlds. But in a liquid world, you'll be able to maintain a solid world like this world. That's what I always be breaking down, like the fourth and sixth dimension, and with the Galactic Federation of Light trying to condense right now and freeze the light, and Project Bluebeam to have us have that imagination up there in a remixed version of the third dimension. Thank you so much for the donation, Myra. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Real stuff. And all that 13 colony energy and stuff like that, and having us create a fourth dimensional emoji avatar circumstance while still being plugged into 1, 2, and third dimension. So you don't actually end up making a fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensional spaceship body like this one, the technology. They actually keep you in this one and reincarnate and make another one like this one and make a fake version of a fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensional glorified body. So none of y'all could become atmospheres and vibes, only online. So you can only create a vibe online with your avatar and stuff like that. Or you can only create your own sim, little mini micro universe atmosphere online now, where you're supposed to be an actual body. That's what an angel is. Well, that's how angels see it. I don't know what they've been trying to teach on history of their concepts and stuff like that. And it might be even similar, but I'm giving it to you clear cut, dry, what it actually is from the horse's mouth. You become an atmosphere, and an atmosphere is a star. Stars is not the lights you see. Atmospheres is the star. That's why we the star on the west. And when water interact with another water, that gas, liquid, solid atmosphere together as a transition, you being inside of it, interact with another density level, it creates that fusion, friction, and pressure. And then that's what we see as a light. And that light ain't nothing but a binding, because it's an accumulation that connects the two things that crash to make that. So the light ain't nothing but binding. It's what connects the reality. You know what I'm saying? And without it, the reality ain't connected. It might be all over the place, just like at nighttime. You might be energized and slept all day, but at nighttime, if you still walking around and stuff, you still become a little drowsy. Thank you so much for the donation, Infiniteness 999. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Real stuff. You said, what it mean when your whole life feel like it flipped? Like, now, see, when y'all ask me what it mean about a parable that you making about your life, I can't really answer questions like that. That's like asking me to explain your lostness. That's what I would call it. But to be nice, it ain't. It's really you making a parable about something you actually went through. So if you ask me, what do it mean when I went through something? Not what do it mean when this is the allegory that I'm making up about something I actually went through in my life. And now, because if you ain't going through nothing, but you claiming that your life feel like it's upside down, then why is you making pressure for yourself too? See what I'm saying? So we got to be careful what spell and trap we put our spirit in. And some of us don't be going through anything. We just watch Walt Disney too much and think this is how we supposed to relate in the world, because this is how other people get relations. Because I finally figured it out too. Because, I'd be like, hey, hold on, let me see, but what you said. You said flips out. It feel like the crossroads, but I feel like I'm ready and shit. Yeah, that's something you dealing with, and something that you actually talking about that you actually should have said. Other than I can't explain the parable. Like for me to say what break down what it mean to feel like when your life upside down, I'm just gonna break down a generalized concept and make example out of it. And the example may have something to do with what you actually went through. So it's always going to go back to that. But I finally figured it out too, because, I'd be like, I'm Uriel and stuff like that. But y'all still don't see me like with like some government type stuff or other half type energy and stuff. And y'all always see humans that learn from people, but they're able to deal with these things better and stuff. I finally figured it out. It's because it's the human train of thought. It's because it's the human trainer. It's the human train of thought and stuff like that. And when you got the angel mind and stuff like that, you're not supposed to look through things from the human mind and stuff. So every now and then, angels forget that. I'm saying we forget that and stuff like that. So we being sometimes down here amongst humans, we think we supposed to sound like y'all. And I always forget we're not supposed to. Like every now and then we do it for a while, and then realize we're not even supposed to sound like y'all. Saying real shit. So I get it now. It's like I get it. It ain't that humans y'all doing something that angels is doing different or something like that. It's this, y'all need other humans because y'all share insecurities and stuff like that. Where angels be having similar insecurities, we just don't see it the same. You know what I'm saying? But the way y'all humans see it, y'all use these things to get in relationships. Like it was once upon a time where a female wouldn't even know how to get in a relationship without expressing to a guy all the baggage she went through. All this previous guy I did with me did this to me. So I'm looking for someone who to treat me like. And then once upon a time, the way a guy got into a relationship was, giving his heart, everything, his soul and stuff like that for a purpose of the female, not the purpose for God and things of that nature. So these be like y'all grandparents that had like 1,000 kids and you got like 1,000 cousins and stuff like that, and you don't quite know how they your cousins and your second cousins and your third cousins. You just know that grandpa's getting busy. You just know that grandpa had a whole little football, little league team with the concession stand table, a little ice cream and hot dogs and hot dog buns and ketchup and mustard on it, a little relish on the side and shit. You know what I'm saying? Waiting for all the you know what I'm saying? Fucking everybody else's kids, mother and shit that be dropping their kids off at football practice and shit. You know what I'm saying? Trying to rock people to sleep to buy a little goddamn football equipment and shoulder pads and shit like that. Rocking all the parents to sleep, fucking everybody's mother and shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas don't be shit. Oh, say they got a 4x4 Ford truck and shit like that with Rams. Why they got? Hold on, you got a little league football team. Why you need real? Yeah, we know you got the Rams. Oh, you got this part-time job, little league football team ass nigga. Oh, say real shit. Niggas ain't shit. I'm from the hood, bitch. I see all the little tricks, all the little games and tricks and stuff like that. All the little games and tricks. All the little survival tactics. Oh, so part-time. I'm saying part-time goddamn football little league. Fuck everybody's mother who come and get money from them, buy a little league football team, shoulder pads and stuff like that, and by night, goddamn it, kingpin drug dealer. Oh, saying real shit. Oh, 4x4, goddamn it, no, Ford truck, and goddamn it with the kids in the back and his own Rams. Bitch, pick your profession. And all of that. Oh, I thanks for the nation. Be the heart. Appreciate that for the bottom of the heart soul group. Because I was wondering if this legit or flunk. Is there such thing as an exalted household? Yeah, that's flunk. You said like when Pisces first, yeah, that's kind of exalted. You know what I'm saying? We gotta know what exalted mean. Exalted means something ascending, something rising. Like that's what the word Christ means. Christ just means exalted. So anytime you hear Christ or the term I am, they're talking about the sun in an exalted position. So even Moses going to the top of the mountain is an allegory of that water, or the sun as an allegory of the sun, water, going to the top of the mountain as above, as below, you going, taking your solar plexus, where it's ruled at the fifth house and taking it to the exaltation place, the first house, and you come up with ideas that you personally want to come across so you can give them your name, I am, and things of that nature. So when we talk about exalted, it's talking about a planet rising, and houses ain't a planet. You know what I'm saying? Now, for you to have an ascendant, something that's rising, what we saying? What's rising? The constellation. So what we're actually saying is a constellation is moving in that house. And since we pieced out mathematically and call it astronomy and astrology, you have a constellation that's rise in your first house. Now the constellation that was rising in your first house the day you was born becomes your ascendant. And the reason we call it your ascendant, because that constellation was ascending in the position of your first house when you was born. So once it leaves your first house, it keeps ascending, where it's really going in a cycle, and it goes into the second house, and it goes into the third house, and based on constellations, it takes a little longer than the sun and moon to do it. You know what I'm saying? So it might take about good 2,000 years just to move a couple spaces, just like the fixed stars. It take about 71, 72 years just to move 1 degree when it comes into the royal fixed stars, such as Antares, Aldebaran, Fomalhaut, and Regulus. Thank you so much for the donation, Robert Vision. Appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. You say, yo, Uriel, what is the significance of a house landing on Archangel's degree? Really nothing. It really got to depend on the planet, and specifically the sun and moon. And it can be the ascendant, because, you know, the first, fourth, and the seventh and the eighth house are filtered through the first house. So it could be as an importance. But sometimes you're unaware how you're coming across, because your personality, that's how we look at it, as it being your ascendant, but it's 50-50 with how we look at it when we explain it as your first house. Your first house is just an area of your life. So it could be any other person, place, or thing that bring these experiences to you. Now, based upon it being your first house and that being an important cardinal point, it could be how you come across. So it could be somehow you act in that area of life also. So it could be how you act in that area of life based upon your experiences, but mainly predicated on what you experience in that area. Even zodiac signs, that's not that energy. They create that event and things of that nature. So houses is just really like your areas of life, and your main points, you may have so many experiences there that it may come part of your personality traits, but you express your personality through your planets, mainly your sun and your moon. So anytime you have a sun and a moon oppose or squaring your ascendant, it's hard for you to personally express yourself and things of that nature, because the things you personally experienced in your life, you might not have a way to express it, your sun, with your wants, or how you want to be viewed, or you may not know how to react to that energy. So you may be timid and retract how you emotionally express yourself, aka your moon, your needs. Your reactionary energy will put you in fight or flight mode. So it's important for you to know astrology also if you have the sun and the moon opposing or squaring or in conjuncting at a 150-degree towards your ascendant. Because a lot of times this also, no matter how good your Mercury at, you can have Mercury in the 3rd or the 6th house and have it in Virgo or Gemini and still have social inabilities and things of that nature. And social skills may lack a little bit when your sun or your moon has a square or opposition or in conjunction to your ascendant. But when you go through enough experiences early in your life, you know how to get with the program and be a better communicator than others. If you're not sheltered in your life and you go through enough circumstances of running your race and your age group and knowing how to dialect with yourself. Thank you so much for the nation, Peter. Oh, I appreciate that from Bob Hart. Real stuff. So keep that in mind too. So look at it like this. The houses is first because it's just our space as a spirit. Then we create our natures. That will be the planets. Then when we bring our natures, our chakras together to be in darkness, it become the actual form, the physical energy that we experience as the many different desires or the constellations. So it's the house, the planets. Then when the planets have sex, they create the constellations. That's why you have planets ruling constellations, because those the ones that fucked and made those children, the nations. That's how the Bible explains it. But it's really an allegory to mother, father, child. When we bring together a father, a thought, and a mother, a feeling, and that breaks a child down, right? And then that's a vision, an imagination, your characteristic, how you see yourself. And those bend in on itself and become the organs. Brain, father, heart, mother, dick and pussy, child. You see what I'm saying? The mind bend in and become the organs. Now, that's how the Egyptians teach it. I don't know what other people be talking about when they be saying this, that, and the third, and talking about Elohim or ancient this, that, and the third. But if you got comprehension skills, you don't even got to go to the next page. The first page clearly lets you know what it's talking about. It's a person's interpretation who wrote it, the author, of helping you understand this, the conclusion that they came to of how we bring ourselves into existence. How we are space getting trapped in flesh. And the first flesh of the allegory that they're breaking down is the mind. So the mind is going to be broken down as an allegory about the flesh. So the mind is going to be spoken about like it's flesh and it's men and women. But it's just our first way of conveying what we're trying to understand. When we bring our mind together, we experience death. So the Greeks just updated it because it's their oral tradition. So Adam and Eve. Adam, the masculine thought. Eve, the emotional feeling. When the mind come together, they experience death now. So when they eat the fruit, the desire, that's you having a vision. So your body represents the tree, the Kabbalah tree. The snake represents your desires, the chakras. And Adam and Eve represents them having two sides. You know, Mercury, masculine, Gemini, feminine, Virgo. Okay, your desires have two sides. A masculine, Adam, a feminine, emotion, Eve. So the tree represents your body. The fruit represents the fruit that you bear. The snake, right? So sometimes you may desire the fruit that you bear that please the flesh, which is the tree, the bones and the fruit, the organs. Every now and then, these things whisper to you like a snake or a dragon and be like, hey, we need something to suit the flesh. We need something to please the flesh. Now, Eve bites the fruit. Eve is a feminine name, so the Bible is in the context of conveying to you, it's an allegory to the emotions. So the emotions get attached to the fleshly fluid and the desires way faster than the logic, the masculine thought. So for you to lose yourself, you have to bite the fruit from Eve, your emotions. Don't preach out of your woman. When you bite the fruit, male or female, this is you trying to justify that it feels good because it helps or makes the body feel good. So you have an emotional attachment to the fruit that you bear that suit the body, the snake and the body. Now, when you are emotionally into that, you can't logically think. When you're in love too deeply, you can't logically think. When you eat out of stress eating too much, you can't logically think. When you're depressed at the moment, you can't logically think. So when Eve bite the fruit, aka you get emotionally tied to the tree and the snake that told you we need to accept this and connect to this that suit the body, this is when Adam bites the fruit that Eve give it, aka when you emotionally create a justification is logic, Adam, about why whatever you doing that you know is doing something out of moderation is still making sense or something like that. So this is you giving, as Eve, giving the apple to Adam and biting the fruit. So this is like you seeing a crackhead and a crackhead trying to tell you them smoking crack ain't bad. So for the most part, that's they didn't bit the fruit, something that soothed their body that they emotionally got tied to. Eve biting the fruit, with listening to the snake, the desire of the fruit that's on your body, the tree, and then justifying it, making your logic stupid, aka giving it to Adam, and Adam drinking the Kool-Aid just like Jim Jones and them. So that's what it's an allegory about. It's just about our mind and us experiencing death anytime you collect too many a thought and a feeling together and think you make sense out of something that you know nothing of. So it turns into a desire. And the very same thing that you love could be the very same thing that destroyed you. So the very same thing that you got excited about is the very same thing that's going to let you down. So you're supposed to temper your energies and understand what tree you at before you even start plucking fruit. You know what I'm saying? Or you're just going to be fruitless. Fruitless, not a bear, not a light bear, not a fruit bear, not a water bear, not even a God bear. A God bearer is a spirit that know how to bear concepts that everybody can agree to those terms and conditions. And this is like a witchcraft that the shadow government be doing to play God. So they create a whole bunch of spirit energies, call it the female name, because it got something to do with controlling y'all emotions. And if it's something that everybody can emotionally agree with, that concept itself gives them the title of being a God bearer. Someone who can control the matrix, control y'all minds. Thank you so much for the donation, Antoine Jackson. You said, what up, Dolo? Are you still sending out alchemy readings? Oh, yeah. If you send the email, I'm going to my email right after the live stream and stuff like that. You know, I ain't got no secretary yet, but I'm just now getting to the crib. So I should have did that first. I don't know why I ain't did that first. But that's what I'm working on right now, these next 30 days and stuff like that. I'm getting a secretary, getting a co-host, and stuff like that. And even when I be sick or something like that, somebody to hold the family tree down, to keep the soul group moving. So when I'm sick and I can't really go live or something like that, it's someone who can go live, but y'all can trust it because y'all know this person is actually around me, or I actually talk to them behind closed doors, so you know this person actually got my mind and things of that nature. So that's what I'm about to start developing too. I'm saying, but yeah. Other than that, but and then things will be really sped up because I got a lot of things that I really need to be spending time on and stuff. I still ain't even upload all my mixtapes on all my music websites and stuff like that. But it's a lot of stuff that I already need to finish that I can go ahead and present already, that I don't even necessarily need no website. I'm pretty good doing it the way I'm doing it and stuff like that. But it's just I'm trying to do so much stuff and be dolo and still trying to do God missions and stuff like that and correlate. You know what I'm saying? And by me being triple fire, it's hard for me to be burnt out. You know what I'm saying? I might not ever burn out. You know what I'm saying? I might be 90 years old, still look the same. Eric might look 13 years old at the age of 90 and stuff like that. Like God gave God's children abilities to like never burn out like the Energizer Bunny. through sickness and all. Like, just not allowed to burn out. Like, just not allowed. I don't even know how. I don't know how to have writer's block. I don't know how to have a lack of creativity. I don't know how to have a lack. And I know that sounds weird, but everything is in reverse. All the way to getting high. When I get high, I come to reality. So I'll be more on point. I'm saying, oh, I hear everything. Who you bet not say nothing, farty, flunky around me. Oh, I'm on point. It's if I don't got this or something like that, I act like y'all when y'all start using it. You know what I'm saying? So everything is in reverse. All the way to the like lowest, simplest stuff. All the way to it take ears to see, eyes to hear. For real. I mean that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no slouch on no level. No level. I'm not even allowed to be. I don't even know how. I don't know how to have writers, but I don't know. Man, I can even try. I can sit here and try right now. Like, look, can I wake up tomorrow and relax and can't come up with a thought? I coming up with a thought off of that. It's like, I don't know, I can't rest. Like, God, I got my spirit and my mind running for ages. We ain't allowed to rest or something like that. Only God, like God kind of selfish in that point. Like God get the rest everywhere and don't be nowhere and be nothing. And we always got to act like nothing and something. Man, that gets stressful because that get hard. I was about to say that's HIT word. That get hard sometimes because you can't be nothing. So it can't be like God. Then God try to make us do that because we punished or something. This is something y'all don't understand, though. This is an angel conversation right now. This is something y'all smack monkey humans wouldn't understand. And only a other half got to be forced to understand. Other than that, there's some deep stuff right here. I can't even get too much in these kind of conversation stuff because y'all won't understand. It'll mess y'all mind up. Y'all won't know how to look at reality after a while. Then you might start forgetting how to blink tomorrow. You might wake up, forget how to move your left arm for 2 seconds and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like forget how to drive for 3 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Forgot what life was about for 5 seconds. Y'all don't want y'all spirits to go there. Y'all not quite ready for that. Because I'll be seeing a lot of y'all smack monkey flat daughter and duck jawline feet faces, ancestors and stuff, and y'all grandparents. That's the first ones I see. As soon as they look like they go into an atmosphere a little bit, they go right back into a particle out the wave. Go back to being a raccoon or a pet giraffe or a human again. Oh my God, I can't tell the difference. But they go back again. They always be scared. Y'all be pumping them up because y'all be crying, praying every day, being happy when they go. So that they can't move on as a spirit. But their spirit didn't go through enough experiences that they have to move on anyway because they was kind of generational curse flunked out. So they already was on their way back here anyway. They just speed up the process. Teamwork makes the dream work. They be in the atmosphere they died in as a cloud and y'all keep praying and crying over it. Now become your smack monkey nephew or niece that you can't stop whooping and stuff like that. But in the next breath, you be crying about your grandma. It's that same spirit inside there. You know, it's the same spirit inside there. You gotta be careful what you ask for. Brought that monkey ass right back. You know, be careful what you ask for. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I'm saying be careful what you ask for. You wanted them to come back. You just ain't know how they came back. They came back as your worst child, your worst niece and nephew, your worst sibling. I'm saying, bro, but you can't think about it because you probably don't know about Uriel yet. Now you know God's knowledge. Now you know why your life depressing and why you like Sage a lot now. See? See, you know what I'm saying? See, now you know why you like second question every day is was you switched as a baby or not because you wasn't. Every time you look at your family, you ain't know that you was like part of the sci-fi troop either. You know what I'm saying? So you be thinking, you be looking in the mirror like, wait a minute, I had to be switched as the baby. If you watch my channel now, you know why. It's possible. It's possible. Oh, it's possible. Real stuff's possible. Everybody ain't human. You gotta know that everybody ain't human. You might wake up every day and really believe that was your auntie. Really believe that was your mother. Whole time you would switch that birth from somebody off the Safari channel. You know what I'm saying? It's just a normal thing in life, you know, because when you're around somebody long enough, you start looking like them when you use they mind traits enough. And if they raising you, you got the indoctrination. So, of course, you're going to start looking like them. The mind bend in and become the facial features. But when you start getting older, get your own spirit, find your soul tribe, you start to realize, wait a minute, I was raised by the hyenas of Lion King. Wait a minute. Then you start changing, you start looking more beautiful, you start making money, you start being more sophisticated. Then these same people turn into agents. They turn into people, demons and stuff, hold you back. Everybody in the family know about your failures now that nobody knew you doo-dooed on yourself and stuff like that. All of a sudden, you became the first millionaire. Everybody in the family know you doo-dooed on yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're like, wait a minute, where does this come from now? Where does this come from? You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, it get real tricky. It get real tricky at some parts, I'm telling you. It get real tricky at some parts. Real stuff. Y'all got a peep game. Y'all don't be looking at life. Y'all be scared of life. Y'all scared to go through that. No, y'all scared to go through that stuff. You know, I said they'll find any way to make everybody still look at you the same as little old Tom, Dick, and Harry and Jimmy again, and little Sally again, and Mary Magdalene. They'd do anything. You know what I'm saying? You done made $1 million being a new electric magnetician, Hydra Collider, clashing Elons together, and you got a Nobel Peace Prize. You got $1 billion. You taking care of everybody. What you do on yourself at the age of 6 years old got to do with anything, but yeah, it's being brought up now. You know, so you got family members online, VH1, YouTube now, stuff like that. So about, oh, yup, they don't care about us no more because y'all know they used to doodle on they. See, like, what's going on? It's coming from. Well, y'all say that's what you a God's child now. The flesh and stuff that ain't really like the real stuff. They ain't really your family. You just a lot of shared experience with these people. That's it. That the physical, spiritual world is different. It's like different stuff. It's different stuff. You got God to show you that. God to show you that. It'll take the weight off your shoulders. Thank you so much for the donation, Peter. I appreciate that for the bottom of our real stuff. You said when I did the full moon ritual, I passed my real estate. Your real stuff. Yeah, full moon ritual. Now it's time to protect it. Now it's time to hold it down. Then when the moon start to wax again, put that energy work back in again. But find ways to relax, because when we produce a little bit, sometimes we might get a little yancy and be like, man, wait a minute, I can keep going, I can keep going. And when the moon waning, you will start to reach tower moments and stuff. That's your spiritual mouth being bigger than your stomach. And it's like, calm down. Work with this. Work with little that you got. Even if you didn't accumulate a lot, just work with this. Just protect that. Let me see if you can protect that. Then that let me know that you deserve something bigger. Because I see you will protect something little. So I know that if I give you something bigger in your life, you'll be able to protect that without no fart clouds or without you using a small thing for egos and making yourself look better than others. You know what I'm saying? Then once God see that, boom. Now I'm not speaking that per se to you. I'm speaking for everybody. We shot to beat all. But anytime the moon is waxing, that's the time we put in energy work. Anytime the moon is waning, that's when it's time for us to relax. Now, we planted a whole bunch of good seeds, and then when the moon ovulated and orgasm, and then we start to see all that confirmation, we might get lost in that distraction and forget that the moon is waning. And then if we into this a little bit, we just got lost because we accumulated when the moon was waxing. And we like, yeah, it worked. Yeah. Cowabunga, Kuna Matata. Yes, bitch. Yes. Cletus go. Now you end up looking like Dr. Fester and stuff like that, and all Adam's family and stuff, and Mr. Crump. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful. The clump, whatever the name was and stuff. So you got to be careful that you don't get esoterically fat, because you get excited and be like, I can keep going, and then stuff start getting rigid and hard, and then you start to fight those resistance and create weird bridge burner scenarios where it don't seem like it was as easy. And that's when you get confirmation that you're doing too much because the moon is waning, and it needs you to sit somewhere and protect what you have already accumulated, even if it ain't everything that you necessarily thought you was going to get when the moon was waxing. You probably didn't deserve it. You probably in test mode right now that God want to show you, God want to see if you can even handle what you got at the moment. And that ain't good enough. You can't find no satisfaction in that. And it was shit. You think I'm going to give you something else? You little devil, go somewhere. And then 6 months pass and you'll be like, why ain't this? Why ain't that? Why ain't this? You should know why. Or you ain't doing no self-accountability or no shadow work. You know what I'm saying? You know when God was telling you what to do and when to get up out of something, and when to shift, and when that person, place, or thing was there, and when you could have jumped on that boat and went to the promised land. You seen it. You was just in your ego and too blinded. And then now when the window was closed, now you hollering, it's too hot in this Hell's Kitchen, and I'm tired of cooking, God. I don't want to cook no more. I want the AI bot stove. And God gonna be like, no. Then you're going to be in your mind like, well, I'm going to do what you want me to do now. I don't care how long it takes. And God going to be like, you damn right you ain't going to care how long it takes, and keep thinking that way. Because it might be a few eons, bitch. You know what I'm saying? I had to give it to her one time. YouTube, but that's how it go. That's how it go. If y'all don't be following God, God don't be caring about y'all. God been there, done that. God be putting mad stuff in front of y'all to show y'all, here, take this loop, take this leap. You know what I'm saying? Take this jump. Take this opportunity. Jump through this hole. I say y'all like, oh no, that hole is too small. Oh no, that opportunity, man, it don't look right. It got Christmas ornaments on it. I think there's always something wrong with something. Can't work with nothing. God can't work with y'all, and God tried. There's always something wrong. Jesus. What I'm saying. And that's when you know you in buttercream. You ain't even gonna be able to get the opportunities that was there, that you looked at was something wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. Because God wants you to jump sometimes and make it seem like you ain't got no bungee cord, but God will wrap one around your ankles real fast before you jump, and then that's when you let God know you have some type of faith, belief, and imagination and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But if you ain't got no faith, belief, and imagination, you just gonna be sitting there thinking, no, ain't no bungee cords. I ain't about to jump. You know what I'm saying? Well, God gonna be like, I don't want nobody like you to jump anyway. Then go somewhere, smack monkey. I'm saying if you can't put no trust and belief that I might strap it on you and stuff like that, anything that you be making up that I can do when you just around your family making up stuff, you don't practice what you preach. Because when I put you at the end of the cliff and told you to jump, why ain't you sound like how you sound around grandma or sound like how you debate online with your Christianity? Why you don't sound like that now? Jump. Have that same faith and belief that I'm gonna wrap the rope around your ankles and stuff. Jump! No, I don't look like that. I don't know about that guy. I don't look like that. I'm looking for a relationship. Oh, you float! Oh, float! Oh, float spirit. Real stuff. God telling you you ain't gonna find none of that till you jump. God, I don't know about that. I say your nose right there, old snotty looking kid and the snotty nose looking kid and stuff. I don't know about that. Real stuff. You ain't got no trust in God. You know what I'm saying? AKA, this is an allegory to y'all gifts and talents. Y'all don't got no trust in God. So this is special gifts and talents, man. I don't like to hear excuses, man. Especially when it's like big neck, long neck in the world, welding the greats in the world and stuff. God on these nuts. Oh, man, you got people in the world like that. I don't care if the reason why I use those people as examples because they actually mentally ill. So you know they ain't gonna have no longevity, and they still was able to get somewhere. So you know if you got a good mind or something like that, whatever you claiming as insecurity, you made that up. Whatever you claiming as an ugliness, you made that up. Whatever you claiming somebody ain't gonna like or something like that, you made that up. You more catered into likes or something like that first before you even put in the energy work to deserve it. Thank you so much for the donation. I love you. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. I love you. You love me. Let's come together, create a family. Oh, so big Barney tail line, jaw, neck, face. I think Barney need to come back. You know what I'm saying? Because I think all this feminist energy and stuff like that, I think we need Barney back. I love you. You love me. Oh, Sarah, big old teddy bear. It'll make us all feel jolly. Make us all get the puppy face. Oh, Sarah, I think we all need that again. I'm tired of seeing tough Sharpie pencil faces. Miss part 1, part 2, part 3 Sharpie pencil faces. Oh, set up there all just smirks and grins, and I'm getting over it. I would never tell energies, and let's create feminism. I'm tired of that. No, we need good, warm puppy dog smiles and faces. Oh, I love you. You love me. Let's come together. Oh, I said, oh, we need that again. Where's Barney? That's why I said these Masons nowadays is flunked out. I blame these Masons. I blame these Jesuits. I blame these Jews kids that's around our age. Man, these movies suck. I don't even want to. I ain't even click on these new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles previews. I just looked at the thumbnails like, that's all, folks. That's it. And please, me saying that's all, folks, please leave Looney Tunes alone. Leave Bugs Bunny alone. Please. Y'all don't know what y'all doing. Y'all just killing the kids' brain cells nowadays. Man, I swear I looked on the app today. No, it wasn't no app. It was an ad when I got on YouTube. It was Dragon Ball Z all females. I'm like, what is this? I don't remember Cell being no female, no transmission. It was Goku. It turned into the Go Princess. It was Gohan. It was Gohanius. I said, then I seen Cell. It was Selenia. What was this? I swear to God, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. I bet it's still up there. I'm not lying. I swear I'm not lying. I seen it. I got on YouTube and I seen the whole Dragon Ball Z cast, all transmissions. I'm like, nah. Leave Dragon Ball Z alone. I bet it's on here again. Where is it at? I seen it. Where is it at? I seen it. Hold on. Let me refresh it a few times. Let me refresh YouTube a few times. I bet it's going to be on there. Oh, now I don't want to show. Now I don't want to prove me right because the phones be listening and stuff. The phones be listening. They know they got the computer AI system to read your mind. Now when you want to prove it and stuff like that, they be little robots be laughing like, nah, not this time, y'all. They trying to prove something. Not this time. Not this. You know what I'm saying? As soon as the live stream go off, it's gonna be the first. It's gonna be the first ad. Watch. It's gonna be the first ad. As soon as the live stream go off, man, AI ain't shit. I had to give it to a one-time YouTube. Oh, it ain't. Yep, it ain't popping up. I seen it though. All the Dragon Ball Z was women, but it was the actual men characters. Who else seen it? Y'all ain't seen it. I'm like, man, this is crazy as heck. I'm like, why is they doing this? What's wrong with the government? You know what I'm saying? But let us say something that ain't got something to do with their Shemiticisms and stuff like that. We got to get demonetized and fired for 2 weeks like Nick Cannon. Ain't that about something? But they can just go ahead and keep playing Netflix movies that remix and make our mind retarded for the next 10, 15 years. We don't know if we live in some electromagnetic ball or something like that, or it's reality. All we know is this the new world we in and we gotta survive. I gotta piss y'all. This ain't nothing though. This ain't, man, the government ain't about nothing. Real stuff. Real stuff. And that's it. Humanity is finished. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Humanity is finished. You know what I'm saying? Humanity is finished. And I hate that for y'all. But hey, what you gonna say? What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? You just gotta be an example. And being an example is just really just getting everybody out of their fears. Because you gotta be the first one who you got out of your fears. So it don't matter what you doing. The energy that all spirits can resonate with in the gas and liquid form first is you getting out of your fears. Whatever you directed that towards in the solid world doesn't matter. An individual will be able to take the gas and liquid from that, getting out of the fears, and be able to direct it in their solid world, what's going on in their life and stuff like that. And that's how we all, each one teach one as spirits and come together and stuff like that. But a lot of times when it ain't a lot of spirits on that battle, everybody is fighting for the solid world, the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension, the world made out of the root chakra, the atmosphere we in, the big ball sacks we in that's colliding, making the sun, the binding energy and stuff, and you getting lost into the bindings of desires and characteristics and forms of visions. That many spirits that's not in forms no more, fart clouds still floating around as a characteristic, and a space as a spirit getting aware inside of it, waiting to be born and waiting for you to play out those characteristics also and stuff. So that same generational curse walk on this earth for years and years and years and years beyond the races of men and women that's here as male and females. And that's also how you understand the Bible too, to understand how men and women live 300 years. It's an allegory to the thought forms. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just real good spiritual knowledge. And I don't even know why I ain't just make this an open panel. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times I'll be having trolls and fart clouds and stuff like that, man. It make me uninspired. It make me just want to go to another content creator and set up like an interview type thing. And then so the people that I join in would be always set up like that, like how other people do it. I just be trying to do it for the regular people though. Every now and then y'all always have people, 1 or 2 people that blow it. Every now and then, though, there's always 1 or 2 people that always want to blow it. You know what I'm saying? Based off intellect. Because we ain't harming nobody in the physical world. And like to a lot of these people that's just coming on and stuff, they're basically strangers. So for them to become trolls and stuff, you know, it's from mind states. It ain't from nothing physical or real. It's just from mind states and stuff. And then these be the people who come be party poopers and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because they become haters and trolls from purely the basis of intelligence. It don't be nothing real because people don't know me in real life and I don't know them in real life. So it's not no real hatred. So the hatred is coming from intelligence and stuff like that. And at that point, that don't show me you a real man if you intimidated by my intelligence. Because I'm a real man. I'm not intimidated by another man's intelligence. And if another man got something I could learn from, I'm the student at that moment. And I learn from life and everything. So I have no problem being a student. That has nothing to do with my comprehension skills. And since y'all don't know how to separate that and y'all be so lost in the shadow government way of doing things to get crumbs, y'all too busy distracted using these things as egos to rub two nickels together. So it don't be about comprehension. It be about using what you learned to fight someone else instead of just being more into wisdom and comprehending. And you can learn from anything, not even just a person, a grasshopper, a praying mantis, and be learning all kind of stuff. But when you too busy into trying to learn stuff, you're not even looking at the details of life. You trying to generalize something too much and using Google, and it become you even feeling like your ego is being bruised if you give the grace to make it seem like you're learning, even if there's nobody around and life needs you to learn from it at the moment. So you'll run to Google to try to learn what's floating in the sky before actually just looking in the sky. So it like the way y'all minds is built sometimes is really backwards in the most simple way though. And once we make something simple, then go deep, you will see how the hardwire is so rooted. It take a long time to get out of it no matter what you just start waking up to. You know what I'm saying? If you're not just already there as a spirit, which allows you to understand wisdom and what? Comprehension. So that should always be more important in your life. The ability to comprehend. That's why when y'all be seeing people trying to debate like biblically and stuff like that, my debate be sounding like nothing he never heard before because I don't attack it using something from a bias. I'm attacking the argument from the concept of listening, comprehending, comprehending what a person's saying. So it don't matter if a person, whatever that they're claiming is true or not. We gonna get there based upon comprehension, not just using words. We're gonna comprehend what we saying and allow the words to mean something, to point to something. And if we can't get there to your conclusion that you're trying to reach to, then that debunks it alone. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to make another 2,000-year-old argument. And we need to be moving on to more sufficient mental concepts and stuff like that and ideas we could develop as an ability to really be with God, all possibility. Not be with this demonic Lucifer that run the world and they only allow y'all to come up with their concepts and intellectual properties and broad philosophical points of views of looking at the world, spirituality, and God. The hell with their concepts when you already got better characteristics that they still trying to capitalize off you. Last time I checked, I haven't seen no Jew that know how to shoot a basketball shot better than someone that they capitalized off of that know how to do it. Last time I checked, Michael Jordan really getting crumbs. You fighting to be Michael Jordan, y'all fighting each other, where in totality, Michael Jordan, his logo is on a Nike shoe. And last time I checked, wasn't nobody at Nike on that basketball court. They sure know how to capitalize the monkey on it, though. When y'all gonna learn how to capitalize off y'all gold? But y'all don't even know how to read the Bible or nothing like that to even understand that. And when I was breaking that down earlier, instead of you being distracted into understand I'm giving you the right knowledge, how it was supposed to be said, because they don't know what I was talking about 2,000 years ago, you rather say, oh, you're more distracted into trying to debunk me. Oh, it's not talking about that. Oh, it's not talking about that. Well, fine. Go to hell then. Go be another Michael Jordan so your logo could be on somebody else's Reebok or somebody else's Nike. Where what you trying to debunk me about is me giving you the game what it's actually talking about. Using your gold, the Bible and the book and the Bible, your gold is your character, and how you built off that structure, you melted yourself and constructed how you wanted to look. That's you being a cobalt mine, capitalizing that yourself. So you become Michael Jordan logo and the Nike shoe. Now you're able to put people on who look just like you from your background. I ain't talking about race. I'm talking about just come from your same class and background. Instead of them competing with you, you're giving them a job to make the material to make shoes in the first place. Now you got a job that you could give people to make the shoe, find the silhouette, put the silhouette together, and other people who play basketball, they can stamp their logo on your Nike shoe. And a person like me, I would feel more comfortable having my logo on your Nike shoe other than Nike we talking about and Michael Jordan doing it. If you was the Michael Jordan and you was the Nike, I will look at you like you come from my background. I'd rather have my logo on slapped on your shoe because I know this shows possibilities of us being able to be the Jay-Z and Dame Dash version in the Jews. Like Ghazi and them, where they could be at the club and stuff, leave safe and sound without no weapon and stuff. Don't even have to have a bodyguard. They just do it to look cool. Where you go working slave blood, sweat, and tears for them, and every time you leave a club or an obligation, you got to have the military with you, slash your whole neighborhood. So for the most part, you need to know what side you on and know what kind of games we playing so you can start putting yourself on the right side of energy, because I know you like to go to the club, and I know a lot of these smack monkeys and stuff you rather not have with you, because one of the reasons you was in the studio and they wasn't in the first place is because they was the smack monkey out the clique. So a lot of times you just be justifying and making people feel good because you don't want to do things by yourself. But if it was really all easy peasy beautiful, you'll leave that smack monkey next door. Because probably 9 years later down in your career, person probably then took your place and backstabbed you. And now y'all got diss records towards each other. And once upon a time, y'all grew up with each other. So how about that too? You know what I'm saying? So it's a dog-eat-dog world. Can't even trust a monkey. Can't even trust a monkey. You know what I'm saying? Can't trust an orangutan about nothing. Nothing that somebody done bust a nut somewhere in Africa and then grew a cactus jack out the ground or something like that. Now is the DNA splicing system. You know what I'm saying? You can't trust none of these smack monkeys out here. Real stuff. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the spirit world get real deep. And you gotta know what to connect with. And you can't be wasting no more time either. And especially when it comes to Saturn returns and stuff like that. Tomorrow ain't gonna be here forever and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So we got to change the world and stuff like that. But it's always about finding synchronicities and stuff like that, and foundations, and knowing to have a purpose. So a lot of times your other half need to be your purpose first. You know what I'm saying? That need to be how you look at the universe, and that's what you're in a relationship with, that purpose. Because the only thing between the universe and God is you. So you're that something between nothing. And you're dealing with large pieces of something, which is the universe. And your piece need to look more like God, nothing. Or that's the only way you're going to get swallowed in the universe, because you always trying to be something. And you need to be one of a kind, something like nothing before. And that's how you get a little closer to God, because that something you're creating look like nothing else. So therefore, you made something look a little closer to God, look a little like it's nothing and stuff like that, in the way you're supposed to look at it, not the way the government make you look at it with the word that I'm transmuting at the moment, to help you understand that word beyond what they're directing it towards, so they can control that energy and have you in a world of nothingness that look like something, but it's something. So it's always not a vacuum. It's just a accumulation of something you don't understand. So when you confused with fart clouds in your mind that you don't understand your mind, they keep you confused in fear and survival, right? You die in that space also. And then this the kind of organs y'all create. So they're lab rats as humans also. So they be controlling your mind. Your mind bend in and become the adrenaline and blood and the production of your organ. And then y'all have a funeral when you die, and then they eat your organ and come up with new ways to how y'all gonna act when you reincarnate. And based on your social security and your characteristics of what kind of jobs you like to involve your social security number into, this would allows them to know who you are when you reincarnating, regardless of what race of smack monkey mutts that they have created. And therefore, if you experiencing weird tower moments, you may be part of a bloodline that they don't want to be here anymore. If you experiencing prosperity and stuff, and it seems like things easy for you, even if it's not necessarily specific people, it just seemed like doors opening, then you probably part of a bloodline of things that they're trying to uphold here. And if you play the right characteristics and produce their business, entertainment, education, religion, they might push you up to be something important in politics or something like that. You might not know what's going on. You might just be like, yeah, I went to college. Yeah, my parents. Yeah, I did that. But goddamn it, you just part of a little circumstance and stuff like that, and you getting the money easy and stuff. So you don't care too much about the harsh realities of people who come from areas like me. And you probably take the time to just out of your busy Disney having money put into your lap day to come try to destroy somebody like me by being a troll, or take something that you think I have that you don't got in you, because everything you got in your life is on you. It ain't in you. So anytime you're around somebody or be aware of somebody that got something in them, you get intimidated, because every now and then it might take a while for it to come out of that person and for the world to actually catch on. But everybody, the one thing we all got, our polycystis tingle. We can see things in others that others can't see in themselves. So when you got something in you, another hater automatically see that and then make sure that it try to stay inside of you. So that make you feel super vulnerable. So your vulnerability don't blend in with your ego to become a phoenix and make you create an ego to block that vulnerability, to make you feel bad about something that's actually your gift and talent and something that should be appreciated by that testimony and a person who can endure those energies in the first place. And if you allow a person to keep you in that space, they just make you be just like them, a person who can't express themselves. So they need people around them to be just like them. And if you just like them, then don't be going around crying when you ain't around them, questioning why you ain't manifesting and materializing, because you a weak spirit. You know what I'm saying? You got to get a little strong. Sometimes put spirits in a place, because spirits be trying to find their power in the most lowest ways possible that you may be unaware of, because you might be too distracted in what you're doing. So you might not understand why a person acting the way that they're acting. But the low vibrational ways that a person will come to the conclusion with to fulfill their insecurity or something that they want to fulfill they thought of feeling, you won't know the grave lifts that a negative, low spirit, low hanging fruit will go through. But if you really was spiritually inclined, you would know. And you would be like, dang, that's very low that a spirit got to go to develop an idea to get out of the world from people, places, and things and stuff like that. And sometimes you can't help those kind of individuals, because for them to even be that low in the first place, they got some things they need to deal with on their own. You know what I'm saying? They don't need no help. You could come in their life and try to help them and hurt yourself trying, and still they won't be helped. Real stuff. So somebody say, yeah, spiritually immature and lack emotional intelligence. Real stuff. You got to watch that, because, people be trying to get it where they can get it. Some people lack parenting, good parenting. You know what I'm saying? Like, your parents can have all the money in the world, but if they didn't fulfill the other percentages of life, right? When it comes to emotional intelligence, you feeling safe in other areas, that you start to grow up and think that this was something that your parents or people that was older or your siblings was supposed to already have the idea to help you with, but they didn't. And then when you start having those kind of concepts and stuff like that, that's when you start to realize that a lot of times it just be people putting you in a position to live for them. And they don't necessarily care about your goals, which you want to do. They just care about you making them look good. And when you're in a situation where all of your pressures in life is on the mere premise of somebody else wanting you to make them look good, then that's when your whole life will get held back. You know what I'm saying? It'll be a time that you really want to do something, nor is you at the age, nor do you got the agility, nor is God with you anymore for you to do it. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful. Don't let these Saturn returns hit y'all upside the head where you don't know where the doorknob hit you when you left the room. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. They get deep in the, they get the hard thing. I keep forgetting this ain't the PBS channel. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, it's just about being spiritually aware. And therefore, when something even look good still, because the getting is good at the moment, if you're not good at being aware of the spiritual world to know what you inside of as the gas and liquid and stuff, then sometimes you won't be aware of, even if something look good at the moment in the solid world, when it reaches expiration date, it could be a more damaging staying in that form all the way to the end. It might be a piece of that energy or a time frame. You got to jump up out of that and start doing something else, regardless if it's accumulating and it still look good. Because when you're aware of the gas and solid, it allows you to know that with the solid is getting ready to transform. And it might not be a transformation you need to go through at the moment. It might be something you ain't got no power and control over, and your life end up appearing to be chaos. So you got to be careful of that too. When you understand the gas and the liquid, and you know the solid that got made from that, sometimes it's time to make an exit before something appears in the solid world to look like it's ready for you to make an exit. And a lot of people around you might be like, why ain't you still doing this? Why ain't you do that? And things of that nature, right? It's because you're developing another gas and liquid to make another solid, and the solid solid that you're currently in may not represent that as well. It may slow up the process, right? And it might be something you can go back to and add on that new gas, liquid, and solid to it, like a new XM radio to a spaceship. But God always needs us to distract ourselves and separate from something in order to develop a new ability, in order to stay in that appreciation space, or that space of doing the things that make you feel good and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So you can keep those people, places, and things around that God gave you to keep you in that space also, to give that as a confirmation of you being on the right track. Not showing God that you was taking these things for granted and taking advantage of these things. The universe will start taking advantage of you at that point. You know what I'm saying? Because you're building too much fart clouds and unfinished business, and you're supposed to be applying yourself to the universe regardless of how you think, how you feel. You're supposed to have that after the experience. That's when you can have your cake and Mike can eat it too, if God don't use that thought and feeling you develop as another ability to put you on another passion and another mission. But that's the only way you're going to accumulate down here. Thank you so much for the donation. Eli, nope. You said, why are there no female Peter Pans? It's, you probably just said that. You know how they be secretly watching. It's probably getting ready to be one. Just by you saying that, you know they be copying us. So it's probably getting ready to be one. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. You know what I'm saying? So Peter Pan about to be Peter Peninsula. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. Yeah, that's really, it's about to go all down into old transmissions and stuff. We ain't gonna know what we watching and stuff. All we gonna know is we better not speak negative about it. You know what I'm saying? That's all we know. We better not speak negative about it. But let us talk about somebody being locked in gas in big old gas stations and stuff like that till they can't breathe no more. People being hung and stuff. Let us start talking about that and stuff like that. Won't have no career. Won't have no nothing. But you could go watch all kind of stuff about getting shot with arrows. We could go watch on Netflix right now. Wakanda Forever, hung on a tree, Rosewood Energy, hit with the shotgun, Ricky, all kind of stuff. We could watch that all day though. That'll never seem to get offline. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's a bunch of people in it that look just like you. You can watch that and be reminded about that in your history all day. Let you start talking about somebody getting locked in somebody's gas station or something like that, gas box. Let you start talking about you won't have no career, you won't have no commercial. Damn sure won't have nobody smack monkey grandkids on back of no green Polaroid Kodak picture. You definitely won't have that to rub together. And that's the first thing people be going to jail hell for. Can't take care of their kids, so they get their blood, sweat, and tears for. You definitely won't have that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you that right now. So that lets you know who in control. So all that becoming a troll against a person that's in the same situation as you, all this feminist energy, all this consort energy not working and stuff like that, y'all got to get it together. I do not know what's wrong. Y'all picking the wrong fights. Y'all fighting with yourselves and secret competition. That's the wrong fight. Wrong fight. I don't know. Y'all, that fight y'all into is just wasting time type fight. Why the shadow government just sit back and do what they gonna make y'all do anyway. You know what I'm saying? You just figure out it's a new box of cereal that just came out tomorrow. That's it. All you know is I'm going to the grocery store. You know what I'm saying? The food depots. That's it. You don't know about nothing else. You don't know about getting no position, none. Not even being in no satisfaction portion of your life. Y'all done got familiar with identifying with the generational curse of being unsatisfied. So you think something wrong in life. If you is satisfied and happy at the moment, you will make something to self-sabotage. You will make something to be wrong. Because in your mind, you be like, no, something ain't right. No, this is just too good. No, this relationship just too good. No, this situation just too good. Something up. And all that fart cloud is you self-sabotaging now. You know what I'm saying? So y'all be like lost in the buttercream sauces and stuff like that. Where sometimes you gotta relax. Just relax. Just go with the flow. Let the universe let you tell you that. Let the universe tell you that. You know what I'm saying? The universe will let you know if it's fucking with you or not. And do you need to change some or not? Because that's who you're in a relationship with. You're not supposed to just get lost in a specific person, place, or thing. Now, every now and then you come across a specific person, place, or thing that can help you deal with the universe. That's if you meet the people that's in the same mission as you. All y'all help each other deal with the universe. But you just being in a relationship alone with the universe, that's going to be a tough titty. Because you can't change things by yourself. And if you think the universe is going to go in your favor, once again, it's not happening for you. It's not happening to you. So don't think everything is against you. It's just happening through you. So whatever you are experiencing, you are the face of that energy. So you need to express those characters, negative or positive, because that's you shedding. And therefore, you're able to produce off that. Because you're naked now, and you're able to have a space to fulfill new abilities that God want to give you. You know what I'm saying? You lightening your loads. You're not holding on to nothing anymore. You felt good just like you urinated. You know what I'm saying? Or you took a feces or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You feel much lighter in the spirit world because you shed it. You ate a star and you got rid of it. You got rid of them thoughts and feelings. So you feel lighter as a spirit. You're lighter. You know what I'm saying? You don't have no heavy thoughts and feelings. You created lighter thoughts and feelings. Light as in weight. So distance in the esoteric world is an explanation of light. It's distance, closeness, brightness. Brightness, dimness, distance, closeness, external, internal, expansion, contraction. So as a spirit, anytime you go into your higher, or not higher, but more outer layers, you're experiencing your gas body and your liquid body, your more imagination body, how you made your solid body and things of that nature. So you see the light, visions, imaginations, right? When those gases come together. So that's light, distance. When you bring those colors together, liquid and then solid, you're in the darkness of it because you brought all those colors together and now you're in the darkness of it. And now you're inside of your body, like you can close your eyes and it's dark. But it's just all your colors blending in together to make organs and forms and stuff like that. So it creates shadows. So really, the physical world is just a world of shadows. Shadows materialized. So your body ain't nothing but a shadow materialized. Like a trapped frozen light or something like that. And as a spirit, you're just experiencing the forms of it. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, let's say you're having a nightmare. Spiritually, your space is big, but when you're doing your cycle, you're catering more to the chakras you made on your bottom half of your spirit. So you can say you're in your low spirits or your low space to be aware of those chakras, those minds there. So the imagination, the mind states that you made those low organs with, you start to have those experiences. And those experiences may be scary to you and stuff like that, but you purely just have an experience like when you was born, like when you was different forms, when you in the form now, and you experiencing the mind that made those organs. So you experiencing the inside of your body, like for real. Because you're always inside of your mind. That's your first body in your mind. It bend in and make organs. When you make other mind states, you create a mind to be inside of and create micro versions. You built your world, and each area becomes an organ. You know what I'm saying? So purely when you be dreaming about flying or something like that, you purely just be in your higher chakras as a space and having those experiences from those gas and liquids. And how you made your higher organs like your heart and your brain, and your dream is going to look like you're flying in the sky or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So this is how you built the right adrenaline and make yourself look younger and stuff like that. Based on just knowing what space you in as a spirit, and the mind, aka what you are experiencing as an imagination or a dream, that represent the space you in. So that's the form you created in that space. And if it's a negative or positive one, the only way you're going to know is when you create a mind there. That imagination that you inside of, your first body. Then it bends in and become the organs. And each organ represents each space you was in to make a mentality there. So that be each part of your dream. So your nightmares, that's how you made your lower chakras and made your lower organs. Your good, happy dreams is how you made your higher organs and stuff like that. And your mundane dreams where ain't nothing going on. This seems like it's changing and changing. That's how you made all your center organs and stuff like that, your heart chakra. So that's why it takes the heart chakra and your heart energy as a spirit to be in that area enough that you have to connect to something. If your heart ain't in it, it's hard to connect to something. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to connect. That's why we the fifth spiritual root race too. We have to learn how to connect again in all areas with the fifth dimension. That's the emotions. So if you want to see things fifth dimensionally, just get into your emotions, whether your eyes open or closed. Once you get into your emotions, you're seeing the world through your fifth dimensional form. When you see the world through your fourth dimensional form, that's anytime you're using logic or trying to analyze. When you see the world through the third dimensional form, that's when you only see things through what soothe the flesh, your body. When you see things in a two-dimensional form, that's when you only see things trying to relate to others without yourself. When you see things from a one-dimensional form, that you might be too selfish, single-minded, and things of that nature. So this is when you're seeing things through dimensional forms before you see it physically that play out in the same way. Just you could use the objects to represent it. One object represents individuality. One object from point A to point B represents duality, right? Represents something reflecting another. You know what I'm saying? Then that has to have a surrounding by default. That represents third dimension. To even have a correspondence from one point A to point B makes a circumference around it by default. That's how we make atmospheres too in the third dimension. And then for the most part, from the mind state. Then anytime you create a bubble outside of that produced the same energy, just not accumulated yet because you did that first, that become a higher version of the masculine 1 energy. 4, higher version of the 2 feminine energy. 5, higher energy of the androgynous energy. 3, 6. So you create a bubble, how you created this organ before it becomes an organ again, to be aware of this 1, 2, and third dimensional 1. How you made the mind and the organ 1, 2, and third dimension. Then when you start to analyze it, that's fourth dimension. You're seeing it from more perspective than this third dimensional. When you start to have an emotion and a reaction about it, that's fifth dimension. You're seeing it from greater dimensional perspectives than just the logic and the thought. And when you're able to bring that together, it becomes sixth dimensional, Rubik's Cube. How you see characteristics, that's you seeing something beyond the third dimension from a sixth dimensional perspective. So you can see all the sides of it beyond the expression you just see third dimensionally. You feel other impressions. You see other things. You get excited. You develop other feelings. You get impacted. You get influenced. That's all the dimensions playing out as one that you get affected by. That if your senses was heightened, you as a spiritual sensei, you'll be able to be sensitive to the senses to know that that's what's actually going on. All the way to these things are visible, even if it's not visible with these kind of eyes. Thank you so much for the donation, KJ. You said Lord Leo, Sun, Taurus, Moon, Aries, Ascendant. I always feel alone. It's probably because your personal situation. So you got to learn how to be satisfied with feeling alone with that Aries ascendant. And then you can get praise for that because it's trying your Leo sun. And you'll be able to make money off that because that'll be the things you attract having a Taurus moon. As long as you don't let the Taurus moon fight with the Leo sun too much. AKA pick stability over isolation, over actually expressing that isolation and allowing stability to be developed off of that. And then it manifests in all kind of other ways too. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that play out. Shit. But shout out to Misa B. I appreciate that. Empress Flows, you said never view black even with eye and eye delight. Eli, nope. I see I see in fourth dimensions everything is cycles with interference patterns. And that ain't the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is simply when you're just thinking. Now you could develop patterns and keep patterns by using the fourth dimension, but it ain't no like world that you go to and you saying you see something. That's like Christianity. Y'all gotta stop making other worlds like the third dimension all the time. The fourth dimension is just that. There is no way to see the fourth dimension the third dimension way. The only way you can see the fourth dimension is explaining it as the fourth dimension. And to explain the third dimension, the only way you can explain the third dimension is explain the third dimension. Now, when y'all start creating y'all heavens and stuff and how y'all see dimensions, it always sounds like some third dimension type stuff. There's always a car in it. There's always a light. There's always a sky in it. It's always a new world. There's always robots in it. It always got something to do with what's in the third dimension there. And then it's like y'all using the world of the fourth dimension and trying to explain it to make it a third dimension concept. And it don't even make sense because you already there once you start thinking and develop an idea. That's already you in the fourth dimension. You already went in your more distant, more brighter, that light, developing ideas, lights. You got a light bulb on your head like a cartoon where your gas and liquid at. That's the only way to see the fourth dimension. But without the solid world, you won't be in it won't be no life just floating around in the liquid and gas. All of this is like one thing, and you need the whole mechanism. Gas become the liquid and become the solid. Not the gas is a world on its own. The liquid is a world on its own, and a solid is a world on its own. And to get to God, you got to go to the gas world. That's probably how y'all think y'all be listening. I think that's probably how y'all be listening to me when I sound like that. Thank you so much for the donation, Socrates. Oh shit! I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. I think y'all think about it like that, where these people who wrote the books is explaining it how I'm explaining it. We're explaining how we all come here. So we all was them spirits we talking about. Or you wouldn't hear it from another person who got a brain like you. Because you ain't hearing it from no animal or nothing like that. So it takes the higher race to even explain the race that's coming behind us. Or show me where there's a floating sun or something like that that's writing the book already. And we automatically know it's a language. And it gave it to us. And it come knock on our door every day without a human. And tell us it's time for us to learn our ABCs. The same way you with your own mind could go pick up an animal or go crush an ant, and an ant or animal don't got to make up something in their mind to convince another animal or ant that a human exists. Same way humans wouldn't have to make up things in their own mind to prove that this other superhero exists. That thing got its own mind. So it'll be able to do the same thing to humans the way humans do the same thing. So if you can't start there as a thinking process, once again, you in La La Land. Because I will have to believe you why something you made up is doing something, and the only logical way of making it make sense, I have to agree with it with your witchcraft. You have to use something that we share as an organ or a mental state, and then use God of the gaps and call that thing, call that God. And since we both can agree with it, then I just believe that in my mind too. But that thing never be outside on its own treating us how we could treat an animal or an ant. So for the most part, that's just another human working witchcraft and voodoo on another human. The blind leading the blind. And I've never been a fool in no existence. Before we even get into religion, even if religion before it would have been created, someone sounding like that, I would have always been intelligent. I never identified with generational curses. I always was the special one. I always is the one that's going to break a generational curse. I always is the outcast one. I always is the unique one. I ain't never identifying with a group of flunks. 2 words, my comprehension light bulb would have went up and be like, nah, I don't accept it just on that premise. All the way down, we can talk about y'all religions right now. I don't care what you believe in, if it's real or not. Let's say I give you the grace and say it's real. Just on the premise of it ain't doing nothing for the past 2,000 years, I don't care about it. I keep things real basic and simple. We don't have to waste time. And when I see humanity waste time, it don't get y'all nowhere. But y'all struggle to come up with intellects to make it seem like it's going somewhere. Y'all sound like biblicles after a while. Biblicles. I make it simple. So at this point, not only to me, to an angel, a real angel is really with God all possibilities. Not only do you got to prove if your thing real, we not going to care even if you prove it. Because then we're going to start questioning, it ain't doing nothing for the, so even if it is real, it's not even something to care about. You know what I'm saying? Then now you got to prove how it is something to care about. Then now when we prove it ain't nothing to care about, because why is it the past 2,000 years y'all still have arguments? Now you got to pull out something and then if I allow you to go down this line of reason and a train of thought, I guarantee somewhere down at the end of your conversation or debating, you become the God. I guarantee. It might be another word. It might be something that You tell me I just don't see something right, or I got to believe you, some type of another witchcraft voodoo that you trying to work on humans. And I ain't human, so it ain't gonna work on me. But it's all gonna boil down to I just got to believe you and I just don't understand something. So that's just another way of saying you God. That's it. You want me to believe you God, and you humans say shit. I had to give it to him one time, you two, one time on that. Bro, stuff, y'all got to know that. No, I'm an angel. I feel like I'm the most intelligent in the world, and I don't even express that like an ego. I'm the first one to say I ain't no God. Now we understand when y'all try to be something like it and come like it, like a werewolf at times, and we like, okay, we understand the jester. And every now y'all say, "Oh my God," and, saying stuff. Shout out to Kevin Gates. He said he want to make gods. Like we understand, we understand the jester. So trust me, we understand y'all human failures in the brain, and we know y'all just want to be something and somebody and something big one day because y'all are big. Just don't get beside yourselves. No, y'all still y'all what y'all are, but at the same time, we get it. We get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm an angel right here trying to transmute that word to this day. So everybody can actually say these things. You can actually run around and say you love Jesus and all this type of stuff. But you got to know what these things actually mean first. So you don't use these things just to look like you and your narcissism, pride, ego, hyena, Lion King, Mustafa face and scarring them. I'm saying real stuff. Once everybody understand what these things actually are, then we can go ahead and start, you know what I'm saying, hallelujah, Hakuna Matata. Until then, angels got to just fire, brimstone, flaming sword energy, baptism type stuff at the moment. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we give too much grace in that area. Because we be letting humans that act like demons slide. Because demons, humans, y'all so normalized with y'all floatiness, y'all can't wait for a scandal or something like that. So y'all can't wait to name drop, put people's names in the title and stuff. Man, angels don't do that. But if an angel was to do that, we'd be here all day, all year round. You know what I'm saying? Because really, we ain't really supposed to be giving no grace. Not at this time. The world is finished. But I still love humanity a little bit. So I'm going to give it a little grace. But I don't want no humans running around down here just doing wrong and then act like that ain't wrong. And I'm down here. That don't even make no sense. You know what I'm saying? But nah, that don't even work. That don't even work. Especially if you got interactions with me. You know what I'm saying? You're aware of me, and then I'm online. So it's a different ball game. We in a real new world right now. Angels actually down here now. Real spirits is down here. So we really in a new world right now. You know what I'm saying? You got to believe that. You got to believe that. And you got to respect game. And you got to remember who you is. How you gonna remember who you is if you think you was one of your smack monkey cousins or Uncle Jimmy or Brumman from the fifth floor 2,000 years ago? AKA self-identifying with generational curses. My ancestors. It's okay to say that if you know what you're saying. And I don't even like that word. I like spiritual predecessor. Because a spirit is just a spirit that took many forms. And predecessor just means what came before you. So when you go down that train of thought and line of reasoning, you get all kind of different ideas that go beyond them telling you Africa and somebody busted a nut in the ground and a cactus jack grew and became a monkey. Then it manifested evolution as a human. And then they called it Lucy. No, they don't even start there. Well, at least not for me. That's why I say everybody ain't human. Some of y'all mind states is human and stuff like that. So if you're part of my soul group, you better not be using that term ancestor, or you don't reflect me. You don't reflect God either. God ain't your smack monkey ancestor. I'm saying, I'll tell you that right now. Your ancestors probably was somewhere trying to pray to a god or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you part of my soul group. You use spiritual predecessor, or you don't reflect me. You just watch me like you just entertain. So yeah, you can watch me like you watch anybody else. That ain't no problem either. But don't try to blend that in with soul group to stay how you is as a human. You know what I'm saying? You just a human. But when you a real spirit on the spiritual path, you take these things serious. You know what I'm saying that these things is witchcraft. Words is spells. You got to know that. You can't just be in no energy. Oh, that sound good. Then your life go on when you're not into it no more. you back to wanting to sign your name on everything and go back to colleges and stuff like that and stuff like. I mean, it's cool if you got a college degree and stuff, but I'm just saying, like how the whole community have like poisoned the well, where it's like oversaturated to the point that you got people that's really not practicing spirituality, not even knowing where to start to actually look like they're doing it, but then they fake the funk by thinking what they learned is it, and then they get online and try it, and then it's just a disaster. It's just a disaster. You gotta do these things in your real life. Practice what you preach. I mean, I be taking these things serious. I make sure certain things I don't go down that line of reasoning and train of thought. I don't use certain words that way. And if I got to use certain words just to relate, I make sure on my mind it ain't actually Jesus' flesh and blood. AKA on my mind, it ain't actually what the government trying to transmute it. It's actually me doing shadow work and knowing where they even got that word and many other words from, and me going to that natural source or to build the resources off of it so I could put my face on that intellectual property and I could become that source or that face and then change the piping system so I'm in the race with the government. So I know how to transmute energy back to me like how they know how to do it. And if they want to go to war, I bet I know how to make better characters than them. And they better not try to go against me with my version of Walt Disney. I'm for sure I get way more attention and stuff like that. So the best they can do is go behind closed doors and do weird demonetizations and take me out of algorithms and stuff, which that barely can help because I put the work in. I'm more invested in God's work. So it's not all about likes and views and algorithms. But when the time come that the shadow government can't even do certain things of that nature, when you real back pockety, it's stuff that you got that they can't stop, that God can use you as a vessel to transmute in areas that ain't even was made up yet until we reach that certain shift. Now you become the face of that shift and you have no choice but to be a teacher at that time, or a person of interest, or a person who get attention. That's the only way you see anybody get it. Anybody become a content creator or whatever. Shout out to all the content creators. Period. But you got to go through something in life. You can't just be no smack monkey sitting on the couch and think you're going to get what people got who had to go through something for God to even give that to them, to let that person know, child, you can relax a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They didn't just shelter spirits be sitting back looking at the relaxing stage of spirits that went through something like that spirit was handed that. Nah, I've been here for eons. You know how long I've been in hell? Stuck between fire flames, Metatron, the Morpheus world, the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension before I can even make a solid because I'm being punished for even creating the gas and solid. I mean, the gas and liquid. So I'm stuck between the gas and liquid. Not truly could go back to God. That's just a space. And not truly can be fully solid and be like y'all. And so I'm stuck between goddamn. You know how long I've been there? Of course I know all about it. Of course I can read all about it. I'm saying, I'm just showing y'all where y'all gonna get stuck at. You don't want to become stuck as an atmosphere, but don't know how to expand the universe. So everybody trapped in their own location, not knowing how to bring their atmospheres together. So it only make hurricanes and tornadoes, and then everybody get tired of that life period. So they take the particle out of the wave and become a sea creature or a smack monkey human again and stuff because y'all just want y'all own world so much. You don't want to participate with the world in a way that we all gotta work synchronicity together by default. Y'all don't like those kind of worlds. But that's where all the power at. That's where you can look your best. You can look the most beautiful. We wouldn't have all these disastrous and desert lands physically if it wasn't so many flunked out ass spirits as y'all being these ancestors and stuff, playing out generational curses and leaving y'all fart clouds here to become the land mass that we living in again with the new glorified body that don't even look new or glorified. It look just like a walking dead blood cell shit stain. Ain't y'all tired of these particle out of the wave forms? Don't look like it. Y'all don't even know that was the point. Y'all don't even know that's the issue. Y'all don't even know that's what we doing. Yet you here. Yet that's what you doing. Yet you can make blood, sweat, and tears right now. Yet you could jump into a spiritual space, collect all those awarenesses, thoughts, and feelings, making a mind, a gas and liquid, and that become adrenaline, and you start tearing up, sweating, wherever you was directing that energy, and what organ, and start adrenaline to make you do the blood, sweat, or tears, or the sweat, or whatever you get ready to do, or build adrenaline and do something. That's going to lead you into sweating. You made that. I'm saying, this what we do. Tell me who else made that then, if that wasn't you as a spirit. If you get ready to, if you atheist or something like that, and you get ready to say, I'm pseudo, I ain't Archangel Uriel, yet you never heard this information from nobody else, it's new, yet it's old at the same time, because I ain't teaching you nothing, I'm only reminding you what you already know, because you know you sitting here and doing that, and ain't nothing else shooting something in you to do it, so you know you already do it, yet it's new information. Uriel always bring all the worlds together in all realms, all ages, all circumstances, all genres, all decades, bring it all together in all type of circumstances. But I ain't teaching you nothing. I'm only reminding you what you already know. So it's a contradiction. Like you're like angels don't know how to do nothing. We just doing God's job. We don't know how to do nothing else but, you know what I'm saying, that. But you know now. You can't debunk it. But it's still some new information. But yet it's old information because you've been doing it since you came out your mama's ass. So ain't no language here that represent angels language yet. But I'm gonna help y'all get there a little bit. Even when we get to shit like this, right? This ain't necessarily this is fraud. This Enochian John Edward Kelly and John D, the language magic of angels and the language of God. This is fraud. They got it a little bit, but it's not necessary. They don't break it down the way they actually supposed to tell you. It's really this simple. The word is created by the vibration. So the vibration is the collection of your thoughts and feelings. So that's what the whole Bible is about. Then we make words out of these vibrations, and we could create language. So that'd be the as above, so below. Your sky catching a vibe, and you creating an actual word. And for people who understood this, they made scriptures to convey that message to you. So they're using the term word as a voice in your head that's supposed to be an allegory of your visions. Not you actually having a voice in your head. You know you don't actually hear no voice in your head. And you too Western hemisphere out, you might convince yourself that you is. But how they wrote it, it was an allegory of giving these things that we do physically the same names and titles that things we was calling inside of us first. Before we call our body as male and females and geographical locations these names, we was coming up with the language first. So we was giving names to things in our mind first and things outside of us. And then once we started to understand the nature, the meanings behind these names that we're experiencing, and then calling them natures, then we act these things out to see if they work or not, all the way to building a civilization and civilizing people and things of that nature. And then for the most part, once we give these and then we call the geographical location that character. So Egypt is called Egypt because that's where they started to do the character of it first before they called it Egypt. And they was just coming with the language. So first, that was the first land they was making slaves and making master builders. Master builder is another term for slave, where the guilders is no longer doing operative masonry, and now they're making people work to do it for some type of convenience, but they can make the process faster because they're sheep-minded, so we could just give them the blueprint and lay on our stomachs and make them build our world that we did for ourselves first to see if it worked, right? So that's the oral tradition also. And then that's why they called the land Egypt. Then they start calling male and females men and women based upon the characteristics of calling the sun and moon. Based on the characteristics of calling the sun and moon and the transits of it, men and women. And if we play out those characteristics through our male and female bodies, then we call ourselves these things. And if we act these things out, we're saying we're the real things of these. So this is the concept of how they start making titles, like police officer or judge or prosecutor. Like if you was to walk into the courtroom, you know that's set up as as the Libra. So you got the scale, you got the judge, you got the officer on the end, you got the prosecutor will be the other officer, you got the lawyer will be the other officer, and then they're all in their catacorner positions also, which represent the sun, the moon, and then Mercury or whatever like that, how it's set up, the judge in the middle being the fatherly master or whatever the case may be. And if your heart don't weigh as light as the feather, that means whatever crime you committed, you was guilty for it. Then once he hit the gavel, you go to hell as above because the mind state you was in, and as below, you go to a physical jail because that's what they're practicing with oral tradition. As above, so below, and create a world around it. You know what I'm saying? So you built their jail that if you commit a crime, you're gonna be in that cell also. Because they already built the blueprint for themselves in their mind and had y'all feel like y'all convenience make some money to take care of your family to build the jail cell. Now it's for you and other people that's just like you. If you commit a crime, you will be in that jail cell and things of that nature. That's how they take the operator for themselves and then create the speculative, make your mind believe something in that which mental jail cell. And then once you believe something, your mind, your body follow your mind, the adrenaline, and makes your physically body do it because you didn't justify it in your mind. And that's why you think you got a good job, but really you just built in the government's world. I'm saying real shit. Is this real shit? I mean real stuff. I don't know why I ain't doing an open panel. That's part because I did one earlier. But yeah, I'm about to finish. I got one more car appointment in the morning, and I'm a free man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a free man today, but I'm always I like to do stuff. You know what I'm saying? I like to make missions and stuff. Right now, my project is my car. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting it updating it and stuff like that. So that's my little project right now. You know what I'm saying? I want to take Homeboy's offer up on that too. He said he could put some stars in the ceiling and stuff like that. He working on detailing. So I got to go back to that live stream, remember Homeboy's name. So I like stuff like that. That made me feel good to say stuff like Soul Group and Subconscious Community because I like to look forward to stuff. And that's something I look forward to. So I be needing inspiration. But other than that, you know what I'm saying, just transitioning and floating around and stuff, the spiritual world get real deep. And if you don't know how to be aware of it, you too lost into the solid world. So the gas and liquid has to take place and manifest as solid for it to be something that you even care about or something. So you lost an expectation, the Lucifer world. Because Lucifer be controlling the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, which is the liquid world. You know what I'm saying? The liquid and gas world. And then it be hovering over the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension. Their fart cloud be hovering over the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension, the solid world. And the 7th, 8th, and 9th dimension is nothingness. We're trying to make a world out of it. So every now and then, gas go in and out of existence there when you bring it in. But once you accumulate it, it becomes the gas world. 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension where you could produce the liquid and make an atmosphere, make a vibe, and then you could get in a form into the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension solid to express that vibe. And then there's just really one world. It ain't two separate worlds and there's a group of beings there and a group of beings here. No, we are the beings coming to be. Or you wouldn't be able to have children. What you think inside of a child? A spirit. What you think inside of you? A spirit. Ain't nobody walking around without no spirit, or they wouldn't be walking around. It's the level of awareness that this person are able to use what they are trapped in or not, which is their mind and body. So spirits be in a sucking place, letting other spirits and their golems take over their body. And that's what makes agents and robots, because these ideas be making them feel more comfortable because they don't have to look like they're doing something different in the world that the shadow government then made normal already. So that's really what it all boils down to. And we 2 hours in. I love all y'all from the bottom of my heart and things of that nature. Let me go ahead and go into my emails, and then let me work on this new curriculum too. But I drop that one from somewhere else. I need to take time. I'll be a workaholic. I need to take time to plan for the lecture also and stuff like that, and also take the time for these Venus retrograde energies and stuff like that, so I can go ahead and not be flunked out and put myself in a situation, and then I could get a co-host and stuff like that too. So yeah, we all getting on a mission and stuff, and we all come together. And I love all y'all from the bottom of my heart. Yeah, don't want to that.